There we go. Alrighty. Well, we have more snow on the way, ladies and gentlemen, so that means we got to talk about it. First, let's talk about where things stand right now as we're about 12 to 14 hours away from the new work week and school week starting. We do have road conditions still rather poor in parts of the state, especially rural areas, where some areas are partially to completely covered with snow still, especially along the Highway 30 corridor, areas around I-35 and Highway 20, where some of the heaviest snow totals were reported. But overall, road conditions have improved greatly, normal in most parts of the state, and I would anticipate that most areas shouldn't see any significant impacts tomorrow morning to affect travel to work and or school. But we do have more snow on the way, and we got to talk about it. So that's what we're going to do right now. We have a winter weather advisory that has been posted for portions of southern Iowa. This will not be a statewide event like what we saw earlier. This will not be a heavy snow event like what we saw this weekend, but we do have a winter weather advisory. This does include the Quad Cities area as well as Washington, Riverside, Mount Pleasant, Tumwa, Oskaloosa, back to Sheridan, Osceola, and then all the way back to far southwest Iowa. This is going to be primarily a heavy snow event to our south and our east, as this storm is going to be impacting people all along the Great Plains up into the northeastern seaboard. We're going to be on the northern side of it, so snowfall will be very limited this time, thank goodness for us. But it is still something we have to contend with, and that's what we're going to take a look at. Now, we do have some new model runs that are going to be coming in later this evening, but right now we're just going to focus on the last runs. They have been relatively consistent so far, and hopefully that will continue in these final hours before the snow arrives. This will not be a morning event. If we go ahead and play things forward here, we actually have to have the right scan. Let me see here. There we go. So as we play things forward, you can see the snow reaching southwest Iowa. This is around 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So some light snow showers shouldn't be too impactful to travel. That will continue spreading across the state as we move through the morning and afternoon hours. The heaviest snow bands falling probably close to sunset in central and southeast Iowa before moving out and leaving the area by, or excuse me, that's still in the afternoon rather. This is mid-afternoon. So could be some impacts to the trip home, especially in far southern Iowa, but by sunset, things really beginning to quiet down and get out of the area, so plenty of time to clean this up. Don't expect any major disruptions to travel on Tuesday, but could be some slick conditions on the drive home on Monday. So how much are we looking at here? Well, I guess if you got to have snow, this is the good news. Not a whole lot. This is probably the maximum that we're going to see. 2 to 4 inches possible in the winter weather advisory area. I would bank a little more on the 2-inch side of that. I think there's a little bit of concern that this may be a more powdery snow, so it could accumulate up to 4 inches. But I think overall 2 to 4 is a pretty safe bet for far southeast Iowa. Further to the north, just a trace to 2 inches. Nothing that's going to really cause any major problems compared to what we just saw. As you see, we had several areas across the state of Iowa get more than a foot of snow over the weekend. Nothing like that expected from this storm system at all. And but could have some impacts as the snow is falling late tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. But that will get out of here. Crews should have an easy job, clearing the roads, and should not have any continued travel problems on Tuesday morning, beyond the fact that it's going to be significantly colder, and we're going to continue to stay cold for the rest of the week. So if you were looking for some snow melt, it's not going to happen this week, that's for certain. But right now, again, the main focus is on southeast Iowa, where that winter weather advisory is in effect for tomorrow and tomorrow afternoon. But this is, again, for just over 3 inches of snow possible in the advised area. Looking like 2 to 4 inches. Don't expect much more than that. Possibly some locally or heavier amounts if we see some snow banding develop as that precipitation is moving through. But again, no major travel problems tomorrow. Just some slicker travel, so you may need to slow down on your trip home tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. So that is the latest storm system that we have moving through. I know there's been some questions about what to expect for the rest of the week. I don't believe we have anything significant in the near term, but That doesn't mean that more activity isn't possible as we move deeper into December, as right now conditions look to remain on the cool side. There we see our snow for Monday. Moving further ahead, not really seeing anything for the rest of the work week. But we do need to watch out some precipitation in the area over the weekend. This is on Sunday. Could be a mix. Right now, it has us right around the freezing mark. We'll have to see if we get that warm, to be honest. But right now, there could be some precipitation in the area Sunday. Too soon to say if that's anything to be concerned with. Right now, it doesn't look like anything. More precipitation chances coming next week. But all of these too far away to really gauge anything. And right now, none of them look particularly concerning on the long range models. So some brief shots of precipitation possible over the next couple of weeks. No major snowfalls expected like what we just saw. But again, we are going to get a shot of snow tomorrow, and that could produce a couple of inches of snow, especially over the southern, southeastern half or 1/3 of Iowa. The heaviest totals likely in areas along and south of Highway 34, south of I-80. Could see 2 to 4 inches, especially in eastern Iowa. But this is going to be a pretty low impact event just because it's falling around the time of the evening commute. That could pose some problems for the trip home. But again, no major issues expected from this storm system, just adding insult to injury after our impactful heavy snowstorm over this past weekend. The good news is crews have gotten a full day of cleanup under their belt. We see most road conditions now back to normal. Some of those rural areas that had some heavier snow, we're seeing still completely or partially covered right now. That will likely improve through the evening hours. So hopefully there won't be any significant disruptions to work or school or any other travel for tomorrow morning. Before this snow hits, we'll have to see if there's any impacts to the end of the work or school day tomorrow. But right now, overall snowfall appears to be light, and don't expect any widespread travel issues tomorrow. Just in those areas of southern and southeast Iowa, might just want to be on the lookout for some slick spots as the snow is falling on your trip home. If you have any other questions, feel free to let us know. We'd love to answer them for you. But the good news is, if we're going to get snow, this isn't going to be a lot, and hopefully things will quiet down for the rest of the week. Now, the bad news with things quieting down for the rest of the week is we are expecting temperatures to plummet across the area. We are expecting temperatures to nosedive into the, well, below zero at times for lows. Let's see if we can pull up some temperature data here. This is going to take me just a second. And while I'm loading this up, if you have any questions or anything you'd like to ask, let us know in the chat. I'd be happy to answer that for you. And again, I apologize for my sniffing. I'm still battling a cold that just came at the worst possible time when you're when you're trying to clear all this snow out of the way. There we go. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, so we'll go ahead and flip this over. This is one of the model's snowfall projections for tomorrow. You can see when we're saying 2 to 4, could be on the lighter side of that, but still the potential is there for more than 3 inches, which is why that winter weather advisory has been issued for areas you see here, looking at over 2 inches of snow. I'm going to flip over to one of our shorter range models here, and we're going to take a look at what we're expecting for temperatures here through the week. Now, as we move into Monday, right now you see the teens and 20s holding on tonight, tomorrow, really just mid to possibly upper teens before that snow moves through the area, and behind it you see that cold air filtering in. This is Monday night into Tuesday, and with that heavy snowpack over us, we don't expect those warm temperatures out to our west to really reach here. We're going to go ahead and switch back over to the global model here. Now this is Wednesday morning. Early Wednesday morning, you see 20s, maybe even 30 degrees Wednesday. That would be some good news, but look at what's coming in right behind that. Another rush of polar air. Boy, this is overnight on Wednesday night into Thursday morning. And Thursday morning, wow, look at that. These are air temperatures forecast right now for Thursday morning. So the state of Iowa looks to be going well below zero Thursday morning, as this would be really unpleasant on Thursday morning if this were to verify. This is the wind chills. Now this is just one model, so we'll have to see if we end up getting this cold if the air rushes in as expected. But these could be the potential wind chills on Thursday morning. Something that certainly could impact schools, which many times when we deal with conditions as cold as this, sometimes they do decide to go with a delay. As temperatures will really only bounce up into maybe 10 degrees or so across the state of Iowa on Thursday before again we crash Thursday night, go a little bit close to zero, and then finally moderate. As we mentioned, as we head into the weekend, we could see a brief period of above zero temperatures before the cold air rushes in again. And then right now, more possible chances of below zero, and then possibly a warm up as we move into next week. We're looking out at like December 11th or 12th. And again, that will really depend on what happens to our snowpack, as well as whether the tracks of these storm systems to our south continue to move a little bit further to the north, bringing that warmer air. But right now, what we do know is that it is going to be a cold week. It is going to stay cold for some time. We might get a bit of a warm up this weekend, but it's not going to last. And that could bring more precipitation that we may or may not have to keep an eye on. Right now, no major storms being suggested by the long range model. So that's the good news. But at least for the foreseeable future, it looks like this snow is here to stay, because it is going to take a while. Even if we get above freezing for a little while, it is going to take quite a while to melt all the snow across Iowa that fell this weekend. So again, we'll go ahead and recap this for you. We do have a winter weather advisory that has been posted for portions of far southern and southeast Iowa. There it is. So we do have a winter weather advisory that has been posted for far southern and southeast Iowa for tomorrow. The potential for a little over 3 inches of snow is possible. 1 to 3 looks to be kind of the average for this area. Could see upwards of an inch or two further to the north, Des Moines, Cedar Rapids, Dubuque possibly as well. But again, very light, much of it falling during the daytime hours, especially in the afternoon. So biggest thing would be to watch out for some slick spots as you're making your way out and about, or making your way home from work or school or other activities tomorrow. Right now, road conditions remain a little poor in some of the rural areas, but overall the state has recovered very well. Road crews doing a great job of getting everything cleared out. They had a full day today to do so, and that is great news. I imagine now attention is going to turn to those secondary roads that may or may not have already been hit up so far. But again, right now, the good news is that what snow we're going to get on Monday should remain on the shorter side, and thank goodness, because boy, do we have a lot to dig out of. These are the latest snowfall reports from across the state. Some of these I believe have aged out, unfortunately. I apologize for that. So really right through the heart of central Iowa, well over a foot of snow in many places, and nothing like that coming tomorrow. Again, here's the snowfall projections: a trace to 2 inches, and then where you have that winter weather advisory, possibly 2 to 4 inches. Much of that falling in the advisory area around the afternoon to early evening hours. So could be a problem on the trip home tomorrow. But that's everything we have right now. We'll go ahead and wrap it up. And again, if you have any questions, we will try and have the radar up as the snow moves in tomorrow, and provide any other updates as needed. Until then, thanks for joining us.